Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Thank you for joining me again. If it's not Saturday when you join in on this, then happy whatever day it is for you. All right, we are going to work on the lateral system of our body. So, what does that mean? We're going to be working these sides of our body today, also known as the obliques. You may have heard that term before. So the obliques help us do lots of things. They stabilize our body as our arms and legs are flailing around. Okay, they also help us rotate from one side to the other. They do a little bit of helping us flex forward, so bending over to pick something up, or just doing a crunch on the ground. If you are a lifter, they help stabilize you as you lift up those heavy weights or do a squat. And that way your body doesn't fall from one side or to the other. Okay, so we're going to be working on that. It doesn't necessarily mean we're always going to be on our side. It just means that we're always going to be working those muscles, and the muscles kind of in and around the lateral side of our body that are stabilizing our core and our trunk, and our limbs even. Our limbs that attach to our body, the core system also helps stabilize that. So, we're going to start standing. If you are not already standing, please stand up. Make sure that you have space to move. We're not going to be doing a ton, but that you have at least your mat space to move around. If you've got your kids with you, they can do this as well. Alright, so standing however you can, just nice and relaxed. And we're just going to take some deep breaths in. So breathing in and out. Good. Breathe in again, let your arms raise up, or your shoulders rather. And relax and let them drop. One more time. Good. Now place your hands right on the sides of your body, so just around your waistline. Okay, and you're going to take a deep breath and you're going to fill up your hands. So, and exhale, and you should feel them kind of squeeze back together. And then inhale, feel your hands move away. Exhale. One more time. Good, so you can feel that the sides of your body are already working to open up your rib cage and decrease your rib cage. Obviously, it is your diaphragm that is doing the brunt of the work, but the sides of the body still has to do something to make that happen. Okay, so it is important for our breathing, which is a very basic necessity of our lives, and all the way up to all our everyday movement and our complex lifts and all of that stuff. So it's very, very intricate into our lives. So you're going to stand, you can stand facing the camera or sideways, it doesn't matter. I will stand sideways. You're going to put your right foot in front of your left, okay? And you're not going to really pick up your feet off the floor, but you're going to rock forwards and then backwards, just pulling up your toe, and then pulling up your heel at the back, and then your toe in front. So it's a very simple movement. You're going to walk forward and backwards. And can you stay nice and steady on top of your body? So I'm not going to rock like this, right? It's not just my hips that are moving. It's my whole body rocking forwards and backwards. And you may feel like your spine starts to work a little bit, the muscles around it. Very gently, right? We always start with a nice easy warm-up if you've been doing these classes with me already. And you're just going to walk back and forth. You can also put your hands right on kind of where your back pockets would be in a pair of jeans or something. And then just slightly higher than that. And you may be able to feel just a little bit of activation in, if you go lower, in your glutes, and if you go a little higher, just in the muscles kind of around your back. So it's very gentle, but they are stabilizing you, and they are connecting to the sides of your body a little bit to help those stabilize as well. Good. So just do a couple more. You can let your hands relax so you can continue to hold those muscles. And you should feel like your legs are starting to warm up a little bit too. And 3, and 2, and 1. Good, and then you have to switch sides. So the other foot will come in front. It's just a small step. Rock back on that heel, and then push up on the back toe. Good, just rocking forwards and backwards. You see you need to shift your weight a little bit to stabilize so you don't fall over. That's where those obliques come in, the side of your abs. Good, and again, you can maybe be able to feel this side a little bit more. You go right into kind of your lower back. You should feel the left side really, really working as you push forward. Sorry, forgive me, the right side with the leg that's back. The right side is working right around that low back area. And then if you slide down a little bit, you can feel both glutes are working a little bit, probably your back leg a little bit more. Okay, just to give you an idea of what your body is doing in such a simple motion. Remembering to breathe. Let's go for 3, and 2, and 1. Good, and step back. All right, so legs should feel just gently warm. We're going to come a little bit wider than your hips. Okay, so stepping out, toes are pointed forward, so make sure they're not pointing out. Toes are pointed forward. We're going to do a similar motion, but you're going to rock from side to side. Your legs can come up if you want, or you can just come up onto your toe. Doesn't matter. Rocking from side to side. What I want you to try to think about is leaning with the leg. So I'm not just going like this, all loosey-goosey. I'm nice and strong in my waist, and I'm rocking from side to side. Okay, if you are picking up your foot, think about picking up the whole foot, so the foot stays nice, and the ankle stays bent. And if you're just coming up to your toe, that's okay too, the ankle will bend. Okay? And rock from side to side. Good. Alright, so I'm already feeling my glutes warm up. You can put your hands on your hips or back in those pockets, and you should be feeling your glutes or your bum muscles. Alright, and now we're going to go up and down. Good. I know it feels a little dancer-ish, but I'm feeling the sides of my hips and my glutes working pretty hard to do this. So hopefully you're feeling that too. Let's go 3, and 2, and 1. Good, and then you're going to pause, arms can come down. 3, 2, 1, switch sides. 3, 2, 1, and switch. 3, 2, 1, last time, switch. 3, 2, 1, and come down. Whew. Nice and warm. All right, feet come back to hip width. Toes pointed forwards. You can come up on your toes and back down. So just basically doing calf raises, finding some balance, and not tipping forward. So try not to be going like this as you come up. All right, nice and stable. Head to the ceiling and back down. Okay, so not forward or back. Okay, now I know backs of our legs are probably burning right now, calves are probably burning. No, this is not the side of your waist. I understand that. However, all of our muscles are interconnected. So as we warm up these muscles, we have to stabilize in our waist to not fall forward or backwards or side to side, right? So they are working, even though they don't feel like they're working as much as the backs of those legs. Mine are burning. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right, you're going to turn outwards. Toes are pointing just slightly to the outside. Okay, so we don't need to be a dancer here. Turn them on about a 45-degree angle. And your heels are still in line with your hips. And you're going to come up again. Good job. and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and settle. Good, come back to parallel, so toes pointed forwards, hip distance apart. Arms are going to come up as you come down to a squat, and stand. Good. As your arms move around, you may start to feel like under your armpit at the top is starting to work a little bit, like right on the sides, but under the armpit. Let's go 5, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good, and stand. Reach your arms up. As you come down, you're going to curve over an imaginary ball in front of you. So I'll go sideways so you can see. Curve over that ball. It's really, really big. And then all the way down to wherever you can touch, whether it's your toes, the ground, your shins. And then stack your spine as you come back up to the top. Good, again. Breathing in. Exhale over the ball. And roll down. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale back to the top. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale to hang. Exhale to roll back up. Good. And just roll the shoulders. You can look sideways. Shaking your head no. Good. Now we're going to come down onto the ground. So, legs are going to be out straight. You're going to lie down on your back. We're going to do a bit of a test. Then we're going to do a whole bunch of different exercises. It's going to be lots of fun. And then we're going to test again and see if we can activate some of those muscles to make this movement a little bit easier. So, lying down on your ground, on the ground. I have a clip in my hair. All right. Hands come up to the ceiling. Palms facing one another. Legs are straight and together. Nod your chin. You're going to begin to peel yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae, going as slowly as possible, all the way up to seated. Now, if that was super hard for you and you need a little bit of help, you can push with the hand. You can squeeze your feet together or your knees together, or you can bend your knees a little bit. Okay, so find a way that makes it easier for you. Obviously, the goal is straight legs. From here, you're going to rock back off your sitting bones and begin to roll yourself down as slowly as possible, using vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way back down. Good, we're going to do one more. Nod your chin. Begin to peel yourself up off, piece by piece, up to seated. Good, then rock back off your sitting bones and roll yourself all the way back down. Good, hands come to your sides. And your knees are going to bend. Feet will be flat on the floor. So that was probably pretty challenging, especially at the beginning of a workout. So we're going to do a couple of exercises, and then we're going to try it again, as I said, and we'll see if we can get that movement a little bit easier, even just within the workout. Okay, so it's not necessarily something that you're going to have to practice for, months and months and months to be able to get. So we'll just see how that feels. Okay, and hopefully it feels a little bit easier for you. So, knees are bent, hands are to the ceiling, palms come together this time, and you're going to keep your fingertips together and your arms straight at all times. And you're going to rotate those arms and head come with you over to one side, and then come back into the center, and rotate the other way. All right? So reach those arms across, elbows stay straight, fingertips together, and center, and the opposite way, and center. Good, as I go to the left, I'm going to anchor my right hip bone so it doesn't come with me as I fall. And then I'll come to the center, And I'll rotate right as I anchor my left hip bone. And I come center. Good. Rotate left, anchor right. And rotate right, anchor left. Good, let's go one more each direction. Rotate as you breathe in. Exhale as you come back. Rotate, deep breath in. Exhale, come back. Good, and arms can come down by your side. Okay, keeping those knees bent. You're going to find yourself heavy on the back of your tailbone. And you're just going to raise one leg up towards the ceiling in a 90-degree angle, so tabletop position. And you're going to set it down to tap. Easy. Lift it up and tap. Good. And raise and tap and lift and tap and lift and tap. Good. As you lift it, can you anchor the opposite hip bone, really pushing it down into the floor so that it doesn't pop and fall with that knee? And lower down, and lift, and lower. Good. So you're going to stay very even across the tailbone with both hips as you do this. And now every time you exhale, whether it's up or down, it doesn't matter, can you push your ribs into the floor? So I'm going to breathe in, and I'm going to exhale and push my ribs down. And push them down. Good, let's go for 3, and 2, and 1, and put the leg down. Good. We're going to switch to the other leg. So bring my leg to tabletop, 90-degree angle, and lower down. So right now my left leg is lifting and lowering, which means my right hip has to drop down into the floor to stabilize me a little bit, so that I don't fall over with the leg. Okay? So you're feeling a little bit of your core, a little bit of that stabilization, even though it's a small movement and probably not super, super hard, but you should definitely be able to feel the core active. Good, and you're going to breathe in one direction, and that exhale is going to push those ribs down. And 3, and 2, good job, and 1. Good, we're going to come back to our first leg. So I started with my right leg, bring it into tabletop and hold it. Can you straighten it now? And can you lower it down and lift it back up? Good, so it probably won't tap the floor or can just barely graze it. Now you have to work a little bit harder with those stabilizers to work with a longer limb. Let's just go for 3, and 2, and 1. Bend it and bring it back. Good, straighten the other leg. Sorry, bring it to tabletop. Straighten it as far as you can go to vertical, whatever that is, and then lower and lift. Now really make sure you're anchoring those hip bones so you're even on the tailbone. And you can lift and lower the leg and everything else stays nice and sturdy and stable. Let's go for 3, and 2, and 1, and bend and relax. Good job. All right, rock those knees from side to side. Hands are going to come behind your head and just settle on the floor. You're going to bring your right leg into tabletop and then bring your left. From here, you'll nod your chin. So you're saying yes. Lift your elbows just slightly so that you can see them in the corners of your eyes. And begin to curl up towards your feet. And lower back down, feet stay right where they are. Elbows lift, chin nods.
curl up to the base of your ribs and lower back down. Good. Nod your chin, elbows lift. Curl yourself up and hold. So ribs are very, very heavy on the ground. Elbows are going up kind of on an angle towards the sky. So you should feel a little bit of work in the side of your body here. Good. From there, can you drop your left foot to tap the floor? And then drop your right to tap. And tap. And tap. A little bit more stabilization needed. Side of those abs should be working. Front of those abs should be working. And 3, tap. And 2, tap. And 1, tap. Good. Lower both feet and uncurl. Whew. Good work, guys. It's a warm-up. Okay. Hands will stay right where they are. Deep breath in. As you exhale, bring one leg into tabletop and then the other. And then you're going to straighten them as straight as you can. If that's not possible, then keep them bent, and that's totally fine. So legs are straight. Nod your chin. Begin to peel yourself up to the base of your ribs. Hands can stay behind your head, but you're going to take one hand and reach it to the opposite toe. It won't touch, that's fine. But reaching that direction, come back, stay lifted. Reach left arm to right toe. Baby toe. And return. Right arm to left toe. And switch. And switch. Don't let your legs fall. Mine are kind of tilting. Good. Let's do one on this side. One on the other. Good. Lower your legs. And uncurl. Whew. Just rock your knees from side to side. Good job, everyone. Okay. You are going to come to lie on your right side. So the right side is down on the floor, left side is up to the sky. You're going to put your bottom leg bent at 90 degrees, so knee in line with hip, and then foot just in line with your knee. And your top leg will be out straight on the ground. Okay, head can rest on your bicep. I find this the most comfortable position. And your other hand can be either here for support on the ground, or it can be on your waist. Okay, whatever is most comfortable for you. Now you should notice, as you lay in this position, that your hip seems really high and your waist is really sunk into the floor. What I want you to do is pull your waist up from the ground. So if you can kind of notice, it's sort of tough with the camera, but my waist is now lifted and I can stick my hand underneath there. There's space. Okay, and so I'm nice and long on this side and my bottom side. Okay, your leg is going out straight and you're just going to lift it to a little bit past your hip and lower it back down. Lift and lower. Now, if you find that you're getting it way up here, you've bent your hip too much, so I want you to stay nice and long and open and just lift and lower no more than about 45 degrees. Good. And as you lift up, can you prevent yourself from going like this? See how I sink my waist in? I'm going to stay really long in that waist the whole time. Okay, so it's a little bit of core now to keep myself active. Suck your belly button in. And lift. Good. Let's go for 5. And 4. And 3. Waist is up. And 2. And 1 and hold. You're holding this position up here, so you're pretty much in line with your hip bone. And you're going to pretend that you have a pencil in your toes, and you can touch the wall behind you, or at your toes, and you're going to draw a slow circle on the wall behind you. It doesn't matter which direction. And can you make sure that you don't rock yourself from around as you draw? Can you keep the waist lifted and the core really tight? And draw that circle. Let's go for 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Hold yourself there. You're going to switch directions. Go the other way. Whatever way you started, just switch the other way. Lift that waist up off the floor. Whew. And 3 and 2 and 1, and lower the leg down. Good. Give it a little bit of a hug and a rub. And before we switch to the other side, we're going to come up onto hands and knees. Now in this position, I want you to think that there is a wall right up against both thighs. Okay, so you can't lean into the wall this way or this way. All right, it's keeping you kind of squished almost between two panes of glass. Knees are right under hips. Wrists are right under shoulders. Okay, you're going to take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, draw your belly button into your spine. And inhale to release it. And exhale, belly button to spine. Good. Inhale. Exhale, belly button to spine and hold. And your right hand is going to hover off the floor. Lower it down. Exhale, lift the left. Lower down. Exhale, lift the right as you push harder with the left hand and the right knee. And lower. And exhale, lift the left hand as you push harder with the right hand and left knee. Good. Raise the right. And lower. Raise the left. And lower. As you raise the right, make sure that you're not raising your shoulder with it, that everything stays exactly in the same position as it was when the hand was down. And switch to your left, same thing. Hips stay level, chest stays level. One more each side. Raise right, and lower, and raise left, and lower. Good. Raise right and hold. Reach that arm out in front of you. Now your opposite leg is going to reach back, and you're going to make sure you don't fall into that pane of glass beside you. So hips stay super level, chest stays super level, and you're going to come down to tap the floor, and raise again, and tap, and raise, tap, and raise. Push extra hard into the ground with that hand and knee that are still there, and stay really tall. Let's go for 3, and 2, and 1. Lower them down. Good. So you should feel a lot of work in the side of your abs as you do that. All right, we're going to hover our left hand. Reach it out in front of us. Extend your right leg. And tap the floor. And lift. And tap. And lift. Tap. And lift. Continue to push through the ground on that knee and hand. And don't let that hip fall into the window pane beside you or the wall beside you. Keep your hips level. And 3, and 2, and 1, and come back down. Good. Sit back on your hands, on your heels for a moment, and just roll your wrists. All right, we got one more exercise here in this position. Coming back onto your hands and knees. I'm going to move up just slightly so that I don't hit the furniture beside me. All right, we're going to start on our right hand, left leg.
So push that floor away, get nice and tall so you're not sagging. Hover that right hand off the floor. Feel the core activation as you lift that limb. Reach it out and extend the opposite leg. Good. Now your arm is going to come to a T as your leg opens up slightly to the outside. Bring them all back in line with the body but not touching the ground. Open to the outside and center. Outside and center. 3 more. Outside, center. Push hard with hand and knee on the ground. 2 and 1. And come back into the center. Whew, good. All right, other side. Get tall on your arms. Hover your left hand. Reach it out as you extend your right leg back. Open out to a T. And back. T. And back. Open. And back. Opening both leg and arm. Let's go 3. And 2. And 1. And settle down on the mat. And sit back. Whew. Good job, everyone. Awesome. All right, you're gonna roll yourself over onto your left side. And we're gonna do those same leg lifts on our left-hand side. So bottom leg is at 90 degrees. Top leg is resting on the floor out straight. Head is on our bicep. Arm is either on our waist or the floor. Waist is lifted, so there's a space. If you stick your hand under that waist, there should be a nice little space, or at least a lot less pressure. And from there, you're going to take a deep breath in. Exhale, suck your belly button into your spine, and raise your leg. Good, lower it to tap. Exhale to raise. Inhale, tap. Exhale, raise. Inhale, tap. Exhale, raise. And remember, nice and long in the front of your hip, so there's lots of space here. You don't want it to be bending forward. Okay? Just straight up and straight down. You should feel lots of work in your waist as you stabilize not to sag into the ground. Your glutes are probably working too, and that's a good thing. Let's go 3 and 2 and 1, and hold here. You've got a crayon or a pencil in between your toes, and you're going to draw a circle moving from the hip on that wall by your toes. Just a small one. Not letting those hips rock forward or back. Keep them nice and still. Is your waist still off the ground? Lift it up, long here, long underneath you. Good work. And 3, and 2, and 1. Pause here and switch directions. Other way. Good, you guys got this. You're doing amazing. I know it hurts. My leg is super tired. Suck that belly button in. Find your stabilizers. Really feel the side of your body working. And 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Settle that leg down. Whew. Relax. Give it some love. And then when you're ready, you're going to roll yourself onto your stomach. Now, we did some stomach stuff last time. Just a reminder, I will keep my head up a little bit as I talk to the camera, but I'll demonstrate with my legs down, with my head down as well. Just want to make sure you can hear me. But let me demonstrate what your starting position will be with your head down. So arms will be out in front of you, legs straight, head down. All right, so in that position with your head down, tuck your chin a little bit so that your forehead is on and your nose is not so squished. You can also place a towel, a rolled up towel underneath your head if that is more comfortable. From here, you're going to take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, just suck your belly button in away from the floor so that you find some support. Inhale, release it, and exhale, suck that belly button away. Inhale, release, and exhale, suck that belly button away. Good. This time, when you exhale, you're going to reach your leg really, really long. We'll do right first, and lift it just slightly up off the floor. So arms stay down, arms don't move, head doesn't move. And then you'll inhale to lower that leg. And we're going to switch sides. Exhale, reach that leg like you're trying to touch the wall behind you, and lift it up. Inhale, release. Exhale, belly button to spine, right leg reaches. Inhale, release. Exhale, belly button to spine, left leg reaches. Good. And switch. And switch. And switch. And switch. Good. So you're trying to stay nice and long in your sides. You really reach the leg as long as it'll go, and lift it at the same time. Let's go for 3. And 2. And last one on each side. Good. So make sure that your arms are out from your shoulders a little bit. So they're not straight up, but they're kind of out on like a Y or a V position. You're going to take a deep breath in, and with your next exhale, you're going to raise your right leg and your left arm. Head stays down. Lower both limbs. Exhale, reach your left leg long, right arm up. And lower. And switch. And switch. And switch. So can you really reach fingertip to toe as long as you possibly can, like you're trying to get super stretched out. And switch sides. So if you could touch both walls in front and behind you, that's what you're aiming for. Belly button to spine the whole time. Good. One more on each side. And relax. Excellent work, everybody. However you would like, you can roll yourself up and come onto your sitting bones. So knees will be bent. Feet are going to remain flat on the floor at all times for this. So they'll be in line with your knees and your hips. Okay? If you feel like you are getting any sort of lower back pain during this exercise, either, depending on how bad it is, either stop and don't continue, or I'm going to have you really, really tuck your pelvis. So I know usually we try to stay neutral, but this time we're going to tuck a little bit. Okay, so that is what I would really like you to think about. So drawing your belly button in even more. We'll talk through it as we go through the exercise. Okay, sitting up nice and tall to start. Let's grab underneath our knees. Okay, and from here you're going to tip off your tailbone, and you're going to tuck as you start to straighten your arms. Okay, so you're in kind of like a C position, and then pulling on your legs to bring yourself back up. Okay. Exhale, tip off your tailbone and curve your spine. Inhale to pull yourself up. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, pull up. One more. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, pull up. Good. Now exhale, roll back, and you're going to hold yourself here. Take one arm off, and then the other. And breathe.
So feet are heavy, heavy, heavy on the floor. They're not floating. Okay, and you're going to really, really tuck your tailbone to be able to hold yourself there. And your arms are going to drop down so that you feel a little bit of connection in the side of your body. And you're very, very long. Good. And breathe. And 3. And 2. And 1. Bring yourself all the way back up. Good. All right, deep breath in. Exhale, tip back off of your tailbone, so arms stay up this time. And roll yourself back to a point where you feel like your core is starting to work. Okay, and your feet stay down. Our right arm is going to come up by our ears and lower down. Left arm comes up by our ears and down. Right arm up and down. And left and down. Raise and lower. Raise and lower. Let's go for 4. And 3. And 2. Each side is 1. And last one. Good, and roll yourself back up to seated. Good, if you're feeling it in your hip flexors a little bit, that's okay. Rock your knees out to the outside for a moment. Sit up and back. And if you do really feel it in those hip flexors, next time we go down, I want you to suck your belly button in even more, okay? All right, last one here. Arms up. Tuck off your tailbone. Roll yourself down to a position where you can hold it. Palms come together. You've seen this exercise before. We did it in warm-up. Rotate over to one side and come back. Fingertips stay together, arms stay straight. Rotate to the other side. Inhale, rotate. Exhale together. Inhale, rotate. Anchor with the same hip as the side you're turning to. I'm going right, my right hip anchors. And come down. I'm going left. My left hip drops down into the floor. Both of them need to drive in, but you may find that one pops more than the other. So try to keep them level. Inhale, rotate. Exhale together. Inhale, rotate. Exhale together. So the last side. And roll yourself up. Good job, everybody. So you should feel lots of work in that waist. And hopefully if you sucked your tummy in a little bit more, you got out of your hip flexors just a little bit. Not to say that they didn't work, but maybe they felt like they worked a little bit less and you were able to work with other muscles as well to make that movement a little bit easier. Okay? So we're almost done here. You're going to lie down on your back. And your arms will be either down by your side or on your stomach, whatever is comfortable for you. Bring one leg into tabletop and then the other. Get heavy on the back of your tailbone, so very slight curve under your spine, but not huge, so you shouldn't feel like you're working your lower back. It should be just tiny. And you're going to straighten your legs at about 60 degrees, so it doesn't have to be straight to the ceiling. Okay, about 60 degrees. And turn your feet outwards, heels together. Okay? Open them slightly and squeeze them together. Open your legs slightly and squeeze them together. So can you think about opening from your thighs and squeezing from your thighs? Open and squeeze. Belly button draws in. Open, squeeze. Let's go for 5. And 4. And 3. And 2, and 1. Pause together. Keep your heels together and bend your knees so that knees go outwards and feet come down. Heels stay touching and squeeze to reach straight. Bend towards 90. Stretch out straight. Bend and stretch. Inhale one way. Exhale the other. last one. Good. Bring both feet back down to the ground. Good job. Put those feet, the bottoms of your feet together and let your knees fall to the outside for just a moment. Good. Now, left leg will stay on the ground. Right leg is going to come into tabletop position. Your left hand is going to touch onto the side or front of that right thigh. So opposite hand to thigh. We're going to do 3 rounds of pressing for 5 seconds. So you're going to push thigh into hand and hand into thigh. Let's press for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it. Push again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On the hand that's pushing, really drop that shoulder down, so don't let it scrunch up to your ears. Drop the shoulder down and press for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lower that foot down. Switch sides. Right hand, left thigh. Let's press again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Remember, drop your shoulder down. Push for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. And last one, push again for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Lower down. Whew, good job. Straighten out your legs. Here comes the test. Arms come to the ceiling. Alright, so you're going to nod your chin, bring those legs together, and slowly with your exhale, begin to peel yourself up off the floor as you come up to seated. And rock back off your tailbone, and slowly with control, roll yourself back down. Now, it may not be super easy right now, and that's okay, but does it feel any easier at all than it did when you first did it? So nod your chin, begin to peel yourself up, squeeze your legs together as you come all the way up. Good. Rock back off your sitting bones and curl yourself back down. Excellent job, everyone. We're going to do one more. Nod your chin. Curl yourself up, vertebrae by vertebrae, squeezing your feet and knees together. And up. Good, and then rock back off those sitting bones and curl yourself back down. Woo. Excellent. All right, come on to your side, push yourself up. We have one more last task. One more last challenge, and then we're going to cool it down. You're going to stand at the end of your mat. Okay? Now we've worked all of our stabilizers. We're going to make sure that they're working in a very familiar, though slightly different exercise than what you've seen before. So, you're going to nod your chin. Start that roll down as you curve your spine all the way down until your hands touch the floor. So if you need to bend your knees to touch the floor, that is totally fine. You're going to walk yourself out to a plank, keeping your hips very, very stable. So walk out in a couple steps without letting those hips rock from side to side. Good. In this position, if this is enough for you, stay here, hold it for a few breaths. If you want a challenge, you're going to lower yourself down into a push-up and press up. Excellent. Keep those hips nice and stable. Everyone's going to pike their hips and walk back without rocking the hips to their feet. Begin to roll yourself back up all the way to standing. Good job, everyone. We're going to do 3 more of those, and then we're done and cooling down, I promise. Nod your chin. Roll yourself down. Come to the floor. Walk yourself out without moving those hips. Good. Stay here if you need to, or lower down to a push-up and up. Pike. Walk back, hips stay still. Roll yourself up. Good. 2 more, everyone. You're doing wonderful. Nod your chin. Roll back down. Touch the floor. Walk out. Good. Find those stabilizers. Come down to a push-up. Press up. Hips. And walk. And roll. Good, everyone. This is the last one. Do it with me. Nod your chin. Roll down. Touch the floor. Hips stay level as you walk out. Find those stabilizers. Good. Lower down into a push-up. Breathe at the bottom. Press up. Hips to the sky. Walk back in. And roll up. Good job, everybody. All right, you're all done. We're just going to do a little bit of a cool down. So come to the center of your mat or wherever is most comfortable for you. Deep breath in as you reach up and down. Good. We're going to point our hands facing forward, or palms facing forward, and we're going to go to the side. I'm going to turn sideways, but you can stay where you are. And nod your chin. Roll yourself all the way down like we just did. Okay, if you can touch the floor, great. If not, that's okay. Deep breath at the bottom. And exhale, just to roll yourself back up. Okay, we're going to do one more like that. Nod your chin. Curl yourself down. Pause at the bottom for a deep breath. Exhale, roll up. Good job, everybody. So just come down to a seated, whatever is comfortable. So cross-legged, knees bent, kneeling, whatever you'd like. And we're just going to do a couple of really, really deep breaths. So take a deep breath in, filling up the side of your ribs and your chest. Exhale, let it all out. One more. All right. Good work today, everybody. That was awesome. I hope you are feeling activated. You're feeling supported in your body. You're feeling comfortable. If you do have any pain or you do have any questions about any of the exercises, leave them in the comment section below. I'll make sure that I get to them and address them. You can also shoot me an email on the D1 and I will answer any questions that you have there as well. So if you do join me next week, we are going to do a workout on hips and legs. So working on a little bit of hip mobility and stability and leg strength. I hope to see you next time. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving with family and friends. Stay safe and stay healthy, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.